Figured that would be the problem cam. Now, if you were just doing a top end, you're going to want to align this and top dead center, etc., etc. But for me, this whole thing's got to come apart. It's a bottom end that's went on this, so I don't care too much about putting it at top dead center. I'm going to do it again anyways. Also, the cam chain is super stretched, and I believe it's a contributor to why this thing failed. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, I can see from looking down in there already that the guides on the timing chain are completely worn, which, anyway, I knew that as soon as we heard the amount of hours that this bike had on it, which is, upwards of 89 hours is what we were told on the last rebuild. So, give or take, you're going to end up with wear. You can see chunks of this missing. Like, it doesn't look horrible, but when you actually look at it close, it's done. So, cam chain tensioner, and out the bottom side I pulled it off. I'm going to pull the timing chain off the cover here, or off the gear on the bottom of the crank. Let's see if it'll let me. I might have to do that after. There we go. I'll get the timing chain out. So there's the timing chain, what they look like in these. It's actually very similar to any other chain. It's just 3 links held together. They do wear, and you can see there's quite a bit of wear on this one already. This stretched, and I think it's contributed to why we have problems there now. Next, I'm going to take out the shim buckets, and you're going to want to make sure that these valve shim buckets go exactly where they were before. So this is the bucket, and inside the bucket there is a little tiny shim. So that's going to go right next to where it belongs on the cam follower on the table, so I know kind of for next when I put it back in. And you can see there's so much carnage in this motor. It's going to be hard to show you, but you can see the sparkles inside there. There's just everything on this thing is full of whatever this thing ate. And the shim bucket, you can see again, it's in there. So it's going to go there. It's important to keep those exactly where they need to be. Wow, there's even metal on top of the valve spring. Wow. Anyways, you don't really have to take those off, but that's something I choose to do at this point, just so that I see what we have for shims. Metal all over that one too. Okay, then we get down to starting to take the head off. There should be 5 bolts that hold this head on, like the squish on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is down here. And then there'll be a series of bolts on the sides usually. So this one, there's 2 on this side, and they're just nuts. And I think they're an 8mm, so I'll take them off. But I'm gonna get the right size bit. And let's see what it is. Good. The Canadian Tire 6. Perfect. Then the next thing you're going to do, as you undo this, it's going to be fairly tight on these. You only want to go a little bit at a time. It's important to not just crank them all the way off right away, or you'll end up potentially warping the cylinder head. These are in really tight, so I'm gonna have to put you guys down because I don't want to drop this phone, and I'll bring you back in a second. What I might do is just crack on it a little bit. Okay, that's a quarter. I'm going to go up here. Quarter. 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 That plug is going to give me a window into here, and there is metal all over it. So these modern day 4-strokes like this, they can last a long time usually. It depends on your oil changes, your driving styles, and your conditions. So if you're driving this thing in sand and you're not cleaning your air filter, you're using, you're not hitting your oil changes when they should be, and you don't keep the valves shimmed when the manual says, you are going to blow one of these up. That goes the same for anybody that's got like a performance 4-wheelers now. Everything is these style of performance 4-stroke high efficiency engines. You need to do the maintenance on them, and if you don't, you end up blowing up. And this one here seized on the guy, which means the engine was completely stuck. He was lucky that he caught it in time and it didn't lock up and throw him over the front, and he didn't have an accident or anything like that. But many a times that is something that happens. So it's important to do your maintenance and use the right oils. So this thing here, unfortunately there's metal through everything. So I'm not wearing gloves at the moment. I know, because this thing, every single piece is going to have to be cleaned and taken apart and inspected for wear as it comes apart. So before it goes back together, everything's going to have to get cleaned, and it's going to be a costly, time-consuming process. 89 hours is what the book would consider high hours, but in reality, there's lots of stories of bikes similar to this lasting way longer than that. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you'll have a failure. This one, probably a contributor, was the fact that this bike was hydrolocked once before, and they put a top end into it, so it would have contributed to a little less lifespan. Meaning that whoever did this last, not saying that they didn't do it right or anything like that, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when an engine comes apart and goes back together, sometimes it's just a little bit less life that one's going to get. Instead of when it goes together in the factory, everything's perfect and you can expect to get that long longevity out of it. When it's blown up once, chances are stress was put on everything. You can see here there's a lot of wear kind of in where the cam sits and rides, and that's indicative of, you know, a high hour engine, dirty stuff going through the motor, creating scoring and things like that. And again, there's just metal everywhere. It's probably really hard for you guys to see on camera, but it's there big time. Put the light back in. Okay, make it a 10mm wrench. Wow, those are tight. So when you torque these things down to specifications, it's really important to do it without over tightening it, because you're going to cause issues that way too. So if you're going to rebuild a bike and you have a basic tool set, that's pretty well going to get you there, but you need to invest in a proper torque wrench and you need to know how to use it. So that's going to go with cylinder head bolts, and then there's going to be nothing left, hopefully, that holds this on, and we're going to see if this is going to come off now. Come on. Bolts hanging up a little bit. And let's find out what that piston looked like. Now, I will say that this bike showed no signs of power loss or an indication that it was going to fail. It just failed. Actually, 2 weeks before this blew up, I was out riding with this individual on my own machine, and we swapped, and I let him ride my bike, and I rode this for about a mile or so, and no indicators that something would happen like this. It's not like an old school two-stroke where they start to lose power before they blow up. When these things go, there's not a whole lot of indication sometimes. It's just ingest piece of metal, motor's done. And it happens that quick. So there's your cylinder head. Now I'll hold this together so we can see what the bottom looks like. Ooh. It's crusty in there, but the valves don't look that bad. So I'm wondering how bad things got in here. Oh, the cylinder is just full of metal. This is your base gasket or head gasket for your cylinder head. That's going to be thrown away. Always get a new one. Don't be cheap. And The timing guide on the other side, full of metal. Not a whole lot of wear on this guide, opposed to the other one. And there's an Allen key that holds the cylinder head on here. Oh boy. Whoever put this thing back together might have not used the torque wrench. So I'm starting to see in here, and you guys might too, where it looks like the valve connected the piston and dished it out. So that's telling me that I think our connecting rod probably went and the piston come up too high and ended up hitting our, oh yeah, our connecting rod is done. So, cylinder is toast. Going to need to be rebored. But wow, is that scored? You see the scoring on there. Uh-oh. And our connecting rod is completely destroyed. Oh man, there's pieces of it. Oh. Okay. Don't want to lose the circlips that hold this together. There's two different kinds on these. Some of them are like a circlip that you'd pull out with this snap ring pliers, and some of them are like a little, I don't know how to say it, half circle washer thing. I believe these are that little pin, and they're always in there super tight. So I'm gonna get something to pick that out with a pick. Wrist pin bearing is toast too. Come on. Hey babe. So the motor blew up pretty good, Gracie.
What did you do on it?
Well, we found the problem.
What was it?
Oh, let me find that. There it is. There's the ring.
It broke.
No, the ring you need to take off. So you take one side off, then we can push this out. But that's...
Why did the ring...
Oh, Mo, that bearing seized, babe. We're going to have to take both sides out, or we're going to have to hammer this out. One of the two. Yeah. This is going to be fun.
I thought you got it mistake.
There we go. Hey, you see the black on this? It's called DLC coating, diamond light coating. Anyway, so that's in decent shape. Our wrist pin bearing is fine. Or a wrist pin or connecting rod is not fine. Not fine at all. Oh, brutal. I'm gonna set this up and then she'll use it. So you're gonna see in here the slop that's in that. That's not supposed to do that.
It's turning right now.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to do that?
Well, it's not supposed to do this big. It's done. Done.
Need one?
We're gonna have to rebuild the whole motor. That's the main part of the motor.
Or buy a new one?
Or buy a new motor. We'll find out how damaged it is. I can see some pitting and damage already on it, Gracie, so we'll
gonna
see.
see like some looks like a little scratch.
Yeah.
Some sand in here.
That's sand and metal. So Dad's gonna have to start taking this apart.
All apart?
All apart.
I think it just needs to be cleaned.
No, sweetie, it's broke.
What is that?
Timing chain.
Do your hands hurting?
A little bit. Probably get some oil out of here.
Yeah.
A bit of oil coming out. A little bit. So now we got to take these off.
What are those?
That's for the clutch.
It's like to go or break?
No. Well, kind of, I guess. It should be a 10 mil.
Did I help you? Sticking them out?
Dad's gonna cheat. He's gonna use his impact because he doesn't want to use the clutch holding tool. He's got one hand that hurts. So
That doesn't hurt your hand though?
no, it does all the hard twisting for me.
So you don't want to do the twisting. I could do the twisting. Did they have like
Little springs.
yeah.
That's what springs the clutch back together.
Oh.
So these should be loose all the way, which they are almost all the way. Got one left.
You're taking it, I think.
No. And this should just gently pry up.
Yeah. I think there's some grease in there or something.
Diaphragm clutches, Gracie. I think this is a diaphragm clutch. We can find out in 2 minutes.
I found this.
Thank you. Okay, now we need to start making a bit more space for Dad. So we need to get a bucket to put the clutch stuff in.
Where could we go? That was easy. Why are there so many rings built up?
Those are called clutch packs, and they're in good shape.
That's
We'll have to get new ones because they're full of metal.
Gotta get new of everything.
Well, yeah, he's gonna need a lot of new stuff.
Everything on that has to be new.
Not every single thing, but most of it will.
It looks like some of them are new, but they're not.
What's that? that, honey?
It looks like it's some of them. Some of it it's new, but it isn't. Since I've probably recently cleaned it.
So, bend tab down. Hammer. See a hammer around, Gracie?
That one.
There we go. That's the locking tab, it's called. You want to guess why they call it a locking tab?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Why do you think they call it that?
Since it locks.
That's right.
Since it locks in.
I'm gonna have to get my holder tool.
I could do it.
No.
What am I thinking? Hey, Dad, I see a whole bunch of
Yeah.
a hot dog on the stage. I bet you're doing that.
Neat, eh?
Yeah. You're trying to take the whole barrel, the whole thing off?
Well, so how it works is you hold the inner clutch hub, okay,
Yeah.
with this. You gotta hold it tight or it'll come apart and break on you, so hold it tight. No, Dad's gonna hold it tight. He doesn't want you to get hurt.
And then what?
And unscrew the clutch holding nut. Then you can press that. Lock washer. Inner clutch hub, that's what that's called. It goes in here like that.
Just the ring.
Clutch basket.
Since it looks like a basket.
Hey, that's a pretty good way to remember it. With bearings. There you go, that's our whole clutch.
You didn't even have to say it.
No.
I said it.
You see the starter gears on the back of it? I think, anyway.
But it's kind of oily.
It has a, so you can put a kickstart on the back here, but I don't know why they left that on. They shouldn't have. Anyway. Now we need to.
Why would you put a kickstart on there?
Well, just in case. What if your battery dies in the bush?
Oh, yeah.
Then how would you get home? You have to call Dad. And Dad would say, maybe you should have had a bike with a kickstart. And then he'd probably say, have a nice walk. Eh? Would I do that to you? Probably laugh.
Wait, do I have a kickstart on there?
On yours?
Yeah, on my 4-wheeler.
Your four-wheeler does not have one. It didn't come with one. They don't make it. But you're too little to be
On a bike.
on a bike by yourself.
Yeah. So you're saying...
So you don't have to worry about that. Because Mom and Dad will always be there with you. But when you get older and you select your own four-wheeler to go on adventures with, you want to make sure you have what's called a pull cord. Or a kickstart. This is the oil pump. And it is full of metal. Completely full. Not good, eh? So we got clutch basket.
Did it get full of metal or did...
It's full of metal. Just about everything on this bike, baby,
By
is
itself?
full of metal.
Did it get metal?
So now we're gonna go here. Put those aside so that we know what pieces are what. Everything's gonna have to get cleaned anyways, but that's the oil pump and gear.
Yeah, there's kind of like a reddish pink stuff on the skirts and this
Yeah. This is the shifter shaft assembly. It's probably not gonna come out. Well, it might come out, but we'll do that later.
Since it kind of like, is it for the kickstart?
No.
What is it for? Since you
Starter gear.
kind of like kick it or something?
No, baby, it's kind of different than that, honey. We need to get all of this apart.
The bike, it doesn't look like a bike.
Doesn't look like a bike, eh?
Since it is pulled apart.
No.
Not all the way.
No. So you learn that you should never, ever skip your maintenance on these. Okay?
Is that the only bike that he has?
I think it's his only bike, yeah.
That's probably his favorite bike.
I would think. If that's all he's got, right? It's a 10 mil.
Probably.
I don't know if we should take this out first, then do these. Let's do these. That's the shift drum.
But why does it have drum.
Well, it's a shift barrel and drum assembly, babe. It's just how it is, and that would go onto it. But this is the shift shaft. It can come out.
Oh, you just took
Shift
it?
shaft out. It comes. Plink. Just like
You
that.
said that you were going to do those two things.
Yeah, well, I know. I changed my mind. Silly dad.
Daddy.
See, it's not too. It doesn't really matter when you're pulling it apart too much, honey. Too much what way you do it, because
But there's lots of parts and
you have to remember
one whole part.
how it goes, and you need to have the manual. Like, see, when I don't know what I'm doing, I have the book next to me to read to make sure I know what's going on. But most of these bikes are almost all the same style, so they're usually pretty similar, and I've done a few, so I know.
But when you first do it, it's probably like you don't know what to do.
That exploded, but so that is all of the pieces.
Oh, it smells
that will,
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. Thank you.
That's the pieces of that shift assembly.
That's just how pieces smell. You don't want to smell them. They smell gross.
They smell gross.
Yeah, I don't like the smell. It smells like gas.
Well, a little bit.
Dad probably likes the smell of them.
What's that?
Dad probably likes the smell of it.
I don't really like it, but anyway. It's what you gotta do sometimes, so that's a dowel pin.
What is this little thing?
Ball for the shift shaft. Just go in here.
What is this
Clutch
little
rod.
thing right here? This like
that.
this. What is this for? Dad,
What?
this thing that's hanging down. The black-
Shift assembly for that drum. That's a little stator cord, Gracie.
So what does it do?
It is for
Us,
making power. It sends power to the bike.
so it could actually go fast.
Well,
Does
no,
it have
it sends
a,
power like for lights and stuff.
Does it have? Does every single thing, like every single machine, have it?
Every machine has something similar to it, like a version of it, babe.
Other version of it?
Yeah. So that is going to be a problem.
No,
Take
mates.
that spring out. Suck to remove.
Hey, Dad, the mice licked off the peanut butter, but they didn't go in the actual thing.
Well, I think there's just no mice in here right now.
There is one that.
Well, maybe, but we haven't.
There's one that.
Nothing's touched the peanut butter in a long time, babe. I don't think anymore. He's in here.
There's one that got that paper can. That freaking out.
It's okay. Okay, so that is the shifter assembly. Gotta get that out. It's gonna be a big spring.
A huge one.
Well, not a huge one.
Something just exploded. Just kidding.
Every
There's a spider.
single piece of that needs to
Look
come apart.
over.
So every piece has to come out.
Is there? How many pieces are there? Like
Lots, and lots, and lots.
Like 100.
Oh, I would think at least. You see why I took that out? There's pieces of stuff in there too.
I can't
And if you don't do that, this thing is
Like,
going to
is it
explode
like-
again.
I could see the little stick.
Yeah, so in there, I just took the shift drum out, and most people probably wouldn't want to do that. But if you don't do it, you can't get all the metal out of the engine, and you risk wrecking it again.
That wouldn't.
You see all the metal that was behind that?
Wait, I can't.
See it? It all looks like gold glitter.
Oh, yeah.
And then in that shift drum.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, my bear. Wow, did it ever explode, Gracie? We haven't seen a bike fail like this in a little while, hon.
Have you ever fixed a bike like that, or is this your first time?
A bike that's what, sorry?
A bike that is unsporting,
Well,
or is this your first
I
time?
fixed a few bikes, but
Not unsporting.
I haven't seen one with this much metal in it in a very long time.
Does every bike sometimes get metal?
No, not all. Sometimes, but not. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's.
Do you go to check your bike for metal?
Well, that's why when you change your oil, you're supposed to look for that stuff. How am I going to do this? I need to do the old penny washer trick.
Why do you call it penny?
Penny washer. It's where you put a penny in there because it won't chew up the gear.
And that's why you have coins.
Well, that's right.
You just get rid of coins
Is there some coins near you?
right here. What color it has to be?
I don't have pennies anymore. Let's try one of these.
Hey, Dad, that license plate that I just saw reminds me of you putting my license plate on. And you forgot to? Never did it. All you do is put a coin in it.
That's right.
I bet you where I got Penny's name from is.
See? And then it bends the coin because it's softer than the gear. And you don't break nothing.
Well, kind of break the coin.
What's that?
Kind of break the coin.
It didn't break the coin.
Yeah, but not halfway.
And see these gears mesh with a dot.
But it looks like one thing that is.
So that is the gear that holds the counterbalancer, it's
Yeah.
called.
Piece of that kind of fell off.
And the counterbalancer shaft.
It was like,
I think I'm going to take it out.
Mom, not Mom. Sorry that I called you Mom and Dad.
It's okay.
There was like a little like thing, but it kind of was. It was like a circle, but it was kind of the big like this part, like the washer. Kind of lose it, so probably when we hit. Oh, Dad, you're losing stuff.
What did we lose? Oh, that's not ours, but bring it in anyway, babe.
That is probably from somebody parked right here.
I would think that'd be somebody's vehicle that probably parked right there.
And since I also the first group here parked, I saw somebody park here, like right there, and must have been them. But there's a little washer, I think, and then a bolt or a screw. This little washer, Daddy?
What?
Is this a little washer?
I don't know, babe.
It broke. Oh no. Oh no.
There you
Oh
go.
no. Oh no, 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 no. No. Dad, how do you know all of this stuff?
Well,
Papa told you?
Papa showed me a bit, and the rest I learned myself, babe.
You just kind of learned it?
Well, when you break enough stuff growing up, you learn how to fix it.
Probably.
What?
Probably Mom. Every time, well, sometimes when we get a truck, Mom breaks it.
Mom breaks it? Yeah.
Accidents.
You know why that is?
Why?
It's because Mom has extremely bad luck when it comes to stuff. like
bad
trucks.
listening ears. Just kidding. Good listening ears.
Oh, we gotta get a different size.
What different size of that?
The number 20.
Oh, that was only 15.
Counterbalancers.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have to deal with this stuff on my old two-stroke bikes, babe. It's just
Why is there like a number
not
written?
required. Just things that Dad just...
Why is there a number written?
That's the starter part number, babe.
What does it say? Started? Probably not. Did that just explode?
No, Gracie.
Or was it like a bolt that got down?
I'm trying to hold this to get this out, but it doesn't want to stay. There we go. Okay, so we got one more piece done, and we can take our coin, which used to be pennies, which were way more effective. Now they don't make pennies, so we don't have much choice. And then we have counterbalancer shaft, which is coming off.
What kind of piece can
Yeah.
I turn off? How could the screwdriver do that?
It's not a screwdriver, Gracie. Oh,
Yeah.
there's even metal inside the bearing. Like, she's just it's in tough shape, Gracie. Tough shape.
Since he rides it like every day, almost every day.
He rides it a lot, eh? So that's what happens, I guess, when you ride something a lot.
Well, he goes to our house lots and comes by your house lots. Since you're friend.
Okay. And that counterbalancer, I think, is going to come out on that side.
What's that?
That side. Locking tab washer on this side we don't need.
How's the past year piece? Looks like your phone case is really dirty.
And this one didn't want to come off when we did it, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to make it work.
Are you reading the book then?
No, not. I read it the other night. Kind of know where I had to go, but to be honest, Gracie, I don't think that there's going to be much left of this case. Everything is going to have to come completely apart, and a lot of these parts are going to have to be replaced.
So you just have to go all through it and check like what's not good and what is good.
Yeah, sort of.
It doesn't look right. Like the metal.
Well, I thought I had it turned over enough, but I didn't.
Well, at least the trip was nice. Not the trip. The ride that we went on.
Oh yeah, you were on that ride too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when we were on that ride and you made it all the way down there with all the big kids like us and Mom, eh?
I was probably the only small one there.
You were the only small one there.
But I thought I was not able to go down that hill.
You didn't want to go down the hill?
So scared I had to run.
Oh, you were scared?
But I did it.
Oh, that's good for you. Mom and me were pretty proud of you. We thought you did great.
I thought Mom wanted me to just keep going since with my thumbs hurting I couldn't do it.
Mom said you took some breaks and you got there.
At one point, Mom was like, "Did you put some gas into it?" I was like, "No, it just went fast, too fast. Not that I kind of used my thumb brake. I did not use my thumb brake at all." No, you were being picked for that.
Okay.
Did the whole bike broke? Or?
The whole bike is okay. The motor is no good. That's why Dad doesn't recommend buying these types of motors. Because when they break like this, they're very expensive to fix.
So,
And they usually are completely destroyed like what we're seeing here.
When you first get like a bike, you have to put the motor in.
Well, you're used to seeing when Dad buys something that he rebuilds it, but
Since you want to check if there's anything that would break it.
that's right. To make sure that when I use it, it's working 100% right. But most people, when they buy something, Gracie, they just drive it the way it is, honey. Or they buy it brand new. So that, like your bike, I built your bike even brand new. Remember?
Yeah, but you didn't have to check.
What's that?
You didn't have to check since you built it.
Well, I built it with Todd. Yeah, we put it together.
Is he your friend?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. He's a friend. Good friend.
Did he make the motor?
He did. He built the Commander as well.
With you?
He was your grandfather's friend.
With you though?
No, that was, he built that with your grandpa. Your mommy's dad.
Why is all this skateboarding and stuff up here?
Snowboards.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, it's supposed to be here. How are you even going to reach that?
There's the ladder.
Oh.
You want to snowboard next year with Mom and me? And ski?
Maybe ski, but not snowboarding.
Dad doesn't snowboard, he
You
skis.
even have like ski stuff for me.
I do. I have everything you need, Budge.
Oh yeah, since for hockey too.
Uh-huh.
At least I don't want to do like real hockey. I just want to do like just by myself. Like
You just want Dad to show you?
yeah, I don't want to do the actual hockey.
That's okay.
Did you do some tricks though?
What do you mean, babe?
Like tricks while you're doing hockey? Did Mikey do like a trick while...
Well, Mikey played hockey too. And Auntie Corinne plays.
Still?
Yeah. Well, Auntie Corinne's the only one that plays. Uncle Mikey and me don't play no more. We should, though. Dad's would love to play again, babe.
But why can't you?
Well, it's just time, sweetie. I just don't have a lot of time these days. Right?
Why don't you do is get like, why don't you get somebody good that knows to farm really good?
if we had somebody to watch the farm, and
I know.
then mom and dad and you could do some more
Oh,
stuff. But
Tony and Gail can't, since they have family animals too.
that's right, they're busy too. Okay, so you ready to see this come apart?
Yeah. All part?
It's going to come all apart. We're going to put something in each spot so that it stays apart there. And Dad's going to try and get it out of these crank bearings. And you can buy a tool that does this, which makes it a lot easier, but it's really unnecessary.
I could make something out of grass.
What's that?
I could make something out of grass.
Yeah.
And also like wish things. I can make like a bracelet. Make a keychain.
So now we're split halfway apart.
Oh. There's lots of grease.
You mean oil? That's
Yeah.
it. That's normal, but so see, here's the dowel.
Yeah, I don't want
That's got to move it off a dowel.
On every single
Then he's got
on every
this
single
heavy
bake,
4-stroke piece of garbage.
every time I like do a bake, do you see oil or greasing?
Usually grease.
It's on every single bake.
Are you coming through the bearing, you bastard?
Me?
No, I'm talking to this bike. Not listening. Careful.
I think I want to try and make a U. Also, Dada,
Perfect.
I have lots of stuff in my backpack. Lots of papers, lots of crafts, lots of pictures. Even one whole thing that is like a book, like anything, like a flip through. And it has like all our pictures that we first did it.
Okay, you ready to see it come apart?
Yeah.
Let's see if it'll go now. Ah. She's heavy. Heavy garbage.
Are you coming apart?
Say, get out of there. There we go. Clink. Oh,
What?
the metal in here is out of this world.
Oh, there's lots of metal.
So you need to make sure that transmission washers are where they should be. That's seized. Oh
What
no.
does seized mean?
Seized means it's stuck. It can't move. Can you move the book, please? Can you move the book
Where?
over there? Dad's gonna put one engine case. Oh my geez.
What? Ah,
Wait until you see the metal in here.
I could already see it.
You see it?
Oh yeah.
You see it in here, Ben?
Oh, I could even see it like on the metal.
It looks like a glitter show, eh?
Yeah.
That is the shims for the connecting rod, and it ate them. It was nom 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 in them.
So, could we clean it?
Well, yeah, we have no choice. We need to do every single part and piece of this will need to be cleaned. Every single one.
Even take apart the penny? That,
Wow.
obviously
Okay,
I
well,
can
obviously
see
that crank is done, so I am going to tappy it out of
the
the
whole
bearing.
motor is the whole motor
Come on, you bastard.
is so the whole motor, I can't say right.
Motor.
Motor is the whole thing of that is garbage.
I would think, Gracie, not the whole thing, but quite a bit of it is garbage.
Since it's all the metal. So the problem was the metal.
Well, yes, but
Some of the metal came off. I could see like some of the sides on that thing, on that silver thing. Gone. I think the neighbors are having a party again. They always do.
I don't think so.
Do we go to it?
Well, they're gonna have a party in a couple of weeks, Gracie, not yet.
I think we can go. Oh, you're stepping on some stuff, Dad.
Yeah, well, I had to beat it to get this out.
It's just the neighbors. The one with the green and orange house.
Yeah.
They're having a party.
Well, he likes to drink in the daytime, so it is what it is.
That is a lot of grease.
It is a lot. You know what? We're gonna just, instead of losing these bolts, Dad's gonna take them right out because he can figure out where they are, and the camera is going to pick up where that black bolt went, but I don't remember that.
You'll remember what? You will remember what?
Where it goes, but Dad also knows by putting them in the right spot what's engaging the threads and what's not. Are you a titanium bolt?
Yeah, since you're really smart.
I wouldn't say I'm really smart, babe, but I'd say I'm pretty good at mechanics. Get lucky once in a while, eh? Everybody's good at something, honey.
One thing that I'm good at is drawing.
You're very good at drawing.
When it comes, like when I want to draw, and I am crazy, I just have to do is get my crazies out. So I kind of
Get your crazy out, eh?
I,
Look at this, Gracie.
wait.
Where do you see this screen? This is the oil pump screen I'm going to take out, and it is going to be bad. Bad.
I can see some dirt. Obviously, do you have to be there, dirt?
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, Dad, that has
Yeah, I know. Just wait.
too.
Just wait till you see what comes out of it, honey.
Is it going to be full of rust? Ooh. Rust. Carbon. Oh my god, that is full of rust.
Look at the. That's not rust, Gracie. That's metal.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck because there's that much in it. Wow. Never seen
Wait, take this. Take this and get all the
something
metal.
just eat the bearings out of itself like
Dad,
that.
what about you take this and get all the metal?
I don't know what we're gonna do here. There we go.
Oh my.
That is a problem.
That
Okay,
is,
it's all apart. So now we can
That is definitely garbage.
say to the young lads that has it, if he wants to save some money on the rebuild, you can clean away.
No, thank you.
You don't want to do it either, neither do I. As won't take days to clean this thing out properly.
101,000 days.
So we're going to order
A new one.
a new piston, a new cylinder,
What
because
is
that
a
one's
piston?
done.
What is a piston?
This is the piston. So we need new piston, new rings, new cylinder,
Why do
new
they
wrist
call
pin bearings.
it a piston?
We need new crank. We need a timing chain.
We need...
Do you want to make a list?
How?
Oh, that's a good point. We're on video. Let's just talk about it. We need to order connecting rod
Wait.
and
Wait,
crankshaft would be because
Dad,
I don't have a
I
press to do this.
I
Yeah.
could go get some paper since I know where some...
Do you know where there's paper and a pen? Go get it for Dad then, babe.
Did you come with me?
Oh, 1 minute. I'm going to finish this video up. Okay, so that's an hour of tearing one of these things apart. That's okay. I have a pen in here, Gracie. Go grab it. Go grab the paper. Not important paper. Okay, so cylinder head, cams, cam holders. Let's see what they look like on the bottom. Cylinder, done. Piston, done. See where the valves hit it. Smacked it. Smacky. No good. Gonna need new valves, valve stem seals. I gotta figure out that. Put that back together is gonna be a nightmare. But anyway, I need to take it apart. I'm gonna have to take apart the entire transmission to clean every single one of those gears. But that's done individually. There's the oil pump passageway is just completely screwed. The oil pump's gonna have to come apart. This thing is, well, it's just covered, like absolutely covered in metal. The crank bearings themselves are okay. Yeah, no, they're done. Bearings, crankshaft, piston, rings, valves.
This one?
We got some pricing to do.